Hello, beautiful beings of planet Earth and beyond. Welcome to another video on the channel of Ancient Ascension. My name is Paula, and today I am going to be sharing with you how I do my simple land offerings. This is a very simple practice, but can be quite powerful when we do it with intention and we do it with prayer and we utilize the power of alchemy on our pathway. Down here in Ecuador, where I live, I am learning from and studying with shamans of plant medicines. And that's the reason I created this channel, to share with you the wisdom and the information that I learn along the way. And something that I have learned from these traditions that I would love to share with each of you, because you can do it at your own home. You can do it in the natural places that you love to go to on this planet. And here in these traditions, they believe in what is called Aini. And Aini is the sacred reciprocity, our ability to give and our ability to receive in this life. So I have learned about the practice of Aini throughout these traditions, and this simple land offering is just an example of what Aini is. Our ability to give, to open ourselves to the ability to receive. These land offerings are a powerful way to say thank you to Mother Earth, to say thank you to the spirits of the land that we're living on, and to utilize these spirits and ask them permission, acknowledge them, say thank you for living on this land with me, and I'm asking you permission to let me live here, and also to help me, to guide me on this journey, to guide me on my pathway of life, to guide me through the prayers that I'm calling in, to guide me through all the things that I want to create. When we give to the spirits of the land or to the spirit of Mother Earth, those spirits really love that. They love when we say thank you, and it turns their attention towards us. And if we're asking for their help, 100% they are going to be there to help us. So I just wanted to share this simple offering and teach you how you can do it in your own home, so that you can start to utilize this basic practice of alchemy along with your prayers, along with what you're calling for in your life. And trust me when I say that this practice works. There is really something special that happens when we allow ourselves to give before we ask to receive. And when we say thank you to this universe, thank you to the natural world, thank you Mother Earth, thank you Father Sky, thank you, Mother Water. Thank you, Grandpa Fire. When we say thank you to these spirits, they're like, who's this being? What are they asking for? How can I help them? Because we are innately connected to these spirits. And as I've talked about in another video, because we are these spirits, we are composed of them. So, and a really beautiful thing that we've noticed, we do these earth offerings sometimes in the ceremonies that we do of San Pedro, of Wachuma. And when we go back a couple weeks later, we find mycelium growing in the ground, which is that intelligent network that allows all the plants to communicate. It strengthens the soil. So there's a lot of benefits to doing this simple land offering. So what we use in the offering that we did is corn, rice, coffee, cedar, tobacco, and water. First, we use the corn because the corn represents strength. The corn represents the energy that we are going to require to create the things that we're wanting to create in our lives. Corn represents resilience, and it is the energy of the Americas. So we use corn to pray for and call in that we can have the strength that we require to walk forward in life, that we can have that endurance, that we can have that resilience, that we can have that ability to actually pull our dreams into this reality. And we use rice after the corn. Rice represents our resources, so that we can pray for and call in all the necessary resources that we are going to require to make our prayers into this reality. Resources of materials, of community, of opportunity. Rice represents resources, it represents abundance, it represents prosperity, it represents money, the ability to receive the money that we require to, walk forward, holding our prayers in our heart, knowing that they are going to come into fruition. And rice also represents it represents Asia. So the next thing that we use is coffee. We use coffee beans or ground coffee, whatever you have available, because the coffee represents the sweetness of life. It represents our ability to enjoy the process of pulling our dreams into this reality, to enjoy the process, the journey, not so much the destination. It represents the joy, it represents the good things in our life, and it represents pleasure along the way. Usually before we offer the coffee to the land, we hold it up to our nose and we take a deep breath in and smell that sweetness of life. And the coffee represents Africa. And the next thing that we utilize is, this time we utilize cedar, the plant cedar. Cedar is what holds our prayer. Cedar is the prayer keeper. Cedar is the thing that's going to hold and tie our prayer together and hold it there so that the earth can work with it, so that the energies can work with it. When we don't have cedar, in the past we have used Artemis seeds, and when we use the Artemis seeds, that's a representation of Europe. But this time we didn't have Artemis seeds, so we thought cedar would be a great way to hold the prayer and to hold our intentions for as long as they need to be held until our dreams come into fruition. And the last thing that we decided to use is not necessary, but we love the spirit. We used grandfather tobacco. Tobacco is the messenger. Tobacco is the messenger of our prayers. Tobacco is the spirit that can take our prayers, that can take our intentions far, far into the ethers, far into the depths of the earth, so that these spirits can pull and hold all of the necessary things that we're asking for and calling forth. So tobacco is the messenger. Tobacco holds the spirit of a messenger. So that's why typically in sacred ceremonies of plant medicine, we pray with tobacco and we don't really smoke it. We're just puffing it so that when we're praying, the smoke gets carried up into the ethers, into Father Sky, so that our prayers and our intentions can be rained down on us into the physical realm. So if you can, definitely utilize the spirit of tobacco. Just take a pinch of tobacco. It doesn't have to be a lot. If it's organic, if it's natural, that's the way to do it for sure. No chemicals and no other things but tobacco. And the last thing that we are using in this offering is Yakumama, Mother Water. Mother Water, of course, we're going to use her because she is what can nourish our prayers. She is what can nourish all the things that we're calling forth. And she can nourish our lives, and she can nourish all the other offerings that we're putting into the earth. Of course, if we really are praying for something, if we have an intention for something in our lives and we're calling forth the help of Mother Earth, we're calling forth the help of the spirits of the land, let's nourish that. Let's nourish that offering, because we all deserve that nourishment, and Mother Earth deserves that nourishment, and our offering deserves that nourishment. So don't forget, if you do this offering at home, always include Yakumama, Mother Water, because she is the one that's going to keep the energy clean, that's going to provide that prayer and that offering with life, because she is the life giver, the life bringer. So those are the things that we use in this offering. Super simple. Corn, rice, coffee, tobacco, cedar, and water. Very simple. And what we do with these seeds is we plant them into the earth. We plant them into the earth. We take them outside. When my partner and I did this offering, we decided to smudge and clean around our whole house. So we went around the perimeter of our house praying for all energies that no longer require to be here to please leave, to open the space to high vibrations, to love and light, and just to clean the frequency around the property within the house. And that's optional, but that always feels really good to clean the space before giving an offering. And we take the offering outside. You find a really nice spot that feels good for you. For us, we chose a spot that was overlooking our favorite view on our property because it just feels like it's the edge, and we really want our prayers to be seen on the edge, and it just felt like the right spot. So you just find the spot that feels right for you, and one at a time, you put these offerings into the earth. And it's really nice to make a little design with the offerings. For us, we just did a big circle, multiple circles with the seeds, but you can make a spiral, you can make a mandala, you can do whatever feels good for you in the moment. And first, we use the corn, praying for the strength that we require to make our dreams into a reality. Then we used the rice, again, calling forth for the resources that we require, calling forth for that abundance, that prosperity. And then we use the coffee. We got to take a deep breath of the coffee and put the coffee into the earth while praying for the sweetness and our ability to enjoy this journey and not take it so serious, and remember to treat ourselves from time to time. And then we placed the cedar down, and as we placed it down, we prayed for protection and for our prayer to be held, for as long as it needs to be held. So it can be held there safe, it can stay contained, it can stay pure, and it can continue to grow into the earth, and the earth can help us allow our prayers to continue to grow into this reality. Then we place the tobacco on top so that the spirit of tobacco can rest on this offering, gather up all the prayers that we're calling forth, and carry our prayer to wherever it is that it needs to go, deeper into the earth, out into Father Sky, through that connective tissue that we're all living in. Grandfather Tobacco honestly knows best, so we always trust in him to take our prayers exactly where they need to go. And of course, at the very end, we used Mother Water, the amazing Yakumama, to nourish our land offering, to nourish our dreams, to nourish our protection, to nourish our permission that we're asking for from the spirits of the land to exist on this land, to coexist on this land, allowing them to know that we see them, we honor them, we thank them, we love them, and ask their permission to be here, and also ask for their help, for their wise help, for their ancient help. And that's it. That's how you do an earth offering. That's how they do them down here with the medicine of Aini, with the medicine of reciprocity. And before we prayed over our offering, over the seeds. We sang some music that came from the heart to raise the vibration of this offering. And we prayed with each seed, and we prayed with each offering that we put down, and really had our full attention in this offering. No phones nearby, no distraction, just being present with each other and being present with the energy that we really are trying to call forth in this life. And to me, the most basic thing about alchemy is that it's action. Alchemy is action. Alchemy is your ability to utilize the tools around you and put them and use them in a way that they can help you. utilizing the spirits of the corn, of the rice, of the cedar, of the coffee, of the tobacco, of the water, and putting them in an intentional way while we're praying, while we're invoking our words to create what we want to create. That's a powerful, very simple tool to alchemize our prayers into this reality. And I love this practice so much because it's so simple, but it always brings me right down to the earth and how grateful I am for her and how powerful she is and how much she's actually helping us every moment of every day and how willing she is to continue to help us and how much she loves to receive. She loves to receive. We can give her some intentional things and receive even more of her love back, receive more of her guidance, receive more of her protection, more of her support. And I tell you what, these offerings work. They work. There was a few things that were feeling a little stuck in my life before we did this offering. And then we did the offering. It hadn't rained for a couple of days here, which is a little more serious here in Ecuador because all of the power is supplied by water and rain. And the day after we made the offering, we woke up, it was super misty, it was raining all day. And these offerings, you can think that it's a silly thing to do or it's not worth it, but just give it a try. Give it a try, because we could feel the rain was like a thank you from the earth, from the spirits of the earth. And it rained all day, and a few things in my life just completely clicked. I was waiting on an answer for certain things and getting irritated about it. And then we make the land offering and it's like, oh, it's done. Like, thank you so much. So, these spirits can work within our lives in many different ways, and they are the ones that are holding us here. And I think it's really important to develop that connection with the natural world, to start to recognize and stop pretending that this natural world is not alive and well. I believe that this world is composed of spirits that have a purpose, that have a mission, just like you and I, and they deserve our reverence, they deserve our respect. And the more that we can turn our respect to these spirits, oh my gosh, the more they're going to help us, the more they're going to feel respected and feel seen, and they're going to do what they can to help us move forward. They love when we bring people to them. They love when we spend time with them, spending time just looking up at the sky, spending time laying on Mother Earth and talking with them, and, calming our minds enough to listen to them, to listen to these spirits and to ask for their guidance and to ask for their support. It's a really powerful way to help you in this life, to help your dreams become more real, to help your prayers actually get put into the physical. Because I always see when I do a land offering, it's like I'm physically putting my prayer into this earth instead of just thinking it, or meditating on it or speaking it. It's like, no, this is my prayer and I'm planting it into the earth. And I'm asking for guidance, I'm asking for help, I'm asking for all the things that I require to open. And who better to ask than Mother Earth, than the spirits of the land that we're living on, especially if we're trying to, build our lives from our home. Wow, start to utilize the spirits that are living on your land. Start to acknowledge the spirits that have been there before you even got there. They love that. With all the respect, with all the love, with all the acknowledgement, say, I accept you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching over the land. And let's work together. Let's work together, because there's so much power in that. And I would just say that if you're going to do a land offering, to feel free to make it your own. You can add flowers, you can add fruits, you can add different seeds, you can make, flower patterns and mandalas. And, this is not like a strict way to do a land offering. It's just a way that I've learned that is very simple and very easy to do, but very powerful. But always feel free to make it your own. Tune into the energy and perhaps the spirits on your land, or what you're feeling Mother Earth wants from you is not corn, is not rice, is not coffee, is not cedar. Maybe it's something else. And I think really land offerings are about the relationship that we have with Mother Earth and the relationship that we have with reciprocity, the relationship we have with Aini, with our ability to give and our ability to receive. That's the easiest, if you can give, even if it's sowing a seed into the earth, even if it's watering a plant, whatever it is, open yourself to giving more to the earth, composting your food, doing what you can to help the soil, letting mycelium grow, the more we're going to receive. The more we're going to receive. That is the natural law of reciprocity. That is the principle of Aini. And it's a really good thing to practice, for sure. It's a really good thing to practice. So I hope that you can go and make your own land offering. I hope that you feel a little inspired to do so, because I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are powerful. They are powerful, powerful practices. And the more present that you can be, the more clear you can be with your words, with your prayers, with your intentions, and really focus on what it is you're calling in, on how your relationship is with Mother Earth, how you want your relationship to be with the spirits that surround you. Be really clear when you do these offerings and try to open your heart. And, anytime that I pray, whether it's in ceremony or just personally, I truly feel like my mind is not in the picture at all. I just drop into the space of my heart, and my heart knows what I'm wanting. My heart knows what it wants, clear as day. And so whenever we're praying or doing an offering or working with intention, do your best to drop into the space of your heart, let the words flow, connect to the energy within there. And that's why I love these offerings and even just the act of prayer so much, because it opens something within us. And I'll be praying for something and I'm like, wow, I didn't even really know that was there. Like, who knew that's what my heart wanted? But I resonate and I do want that. So just taking time with Mama Earth, taking time to sow your seeds, take your time to water them, to pray for what it is you want. And if you do this land offering, I guarantee great, great things are headed your way. And, just try to remember to spend time with Mother Earth more, spend time with Father Sky more, spend time with the sacred fire more. And remember to say thank you to Mother Water. Say thank you to her while you shower. Say thank you to her before you drink. Thank you to the food before we eat. And the more we can say thank you, the more this world is going to say thank you back to us, because we are living in a reflection machine. So the more that we can put out that good energy and that gratitude and that love and those pure prayers, the more of that is going to come back to us. So that's it. Enjoy your land offerings. Good luck. Have fun. And all of my blessings are with you. All of my prayers are going towards you. All the love in my heart. Thank you so much for watching.